Rambo Talabong. We are inside the Egyptian Theater here in Park City in Utah in the United States. We are here at the premiere of A Thousand Cuts, the film chronicling Rappler under President Rodrigo Duterte's rule in the Philippines. It's a film by multi award winning filmmaker Ramona Diaz. And here in Park City, one of the invited guests for watching the film are actually the Rapplers who have been featured in the film, who were documented in the film to actually experience suppression and difficulties in pursuing stories under President Rodrigo Duterte. Let's try to speak with them. Okay. So I have here with me right now our Senate reporter and also a reporter who covered the PDP Laban during the the elections in 2019, right? Camille, can you stand up and speak with us? Okay. So
Hi.
here's Camille.
Hi, hello.
Okay, Camille. Why is this film very important?
I feel like it chronicled a very historic part of Philippine journalism and of course of Rappler. I mean, yung pinagdaanan ng Rappler for the past 3 years, it was not an easy journey. I don't know how to say it, but I feel like it's an understatement. So to see what we've gone through and to share it with everyone, like with people from all over the world, yeah, I think it sends a message now people are watching or people care about the status of journalism. And
How do you feel about being filmed for this movie and then finally going to watch it here?
kinabahan lang kasi parang ang tagal na nun, but very excited to see kasi makikita natin how far we've grown, Rappler as an institution, as an organization for the past 3 years. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Camille, and I look forward to seeing you later. Let's also interview our Malacanang reporter, Pia Ranada, who is thoroughly documented in the film being suppressed from coverage. Actually, Pia Ranada was banned from covering Malacanang just years ago, and ever since then, she has constantly filed stories, exclusives, and filed in-depth reports on the presidency of Rodrigo Duterte. Let's speak with her now. Pia, how are you?
Hi everyone, I'm good. A bit jet lagged, but on the whole, excited for the film.
Okay. Pia, do you remember being filmed for this movie?
Yes, actually, Ramona's crew followed me during the campaign season. So we followed Sarah Duterte, and they followed us interviewing Sarah. Also, basically in the newsroom, also writing my story. So they were really like fly on the wall when it came to my coverage.
How important do you think is this movie, not just here in the United States, but especially in the Philippines?
I think it's what's unique about this film is it shows us the angle of Rappler reporters because a lot of times what you get is the angle of Duterte, the politicians, the people in power. So they tend to dominate the conversation because they're in power. So they can send out press releases, they can give interviews and press cons about what Rappler is, what Rappler's about, what Rappler is not. But this is our turn to show you how we work. It's also a way to be transparent with our audience. Like this is what we do, this is what we sacrifice every day, and this is the nature of our work. And it's just good to share that story with our readers.
I was shown a part of the movie where you cried a bit, and I was also moved by that. And this is something about journalists that aren't really well documented. We're usually assumed to be objective. And from watching just that snippet, is there anything that you realized about journalism, its importance, and how the public should actually see journalism in the context of Rodrigo Duterte?
I think right now there's a misunderstanding of journalists being neutral. And by neutral, I mean not taking any sides in anything. But I think that's a false way to construct or to define journalism because journalism at its core is a stand for truth. And when it's truth that's being compromised, we have to be activists. We can't just say, oh, we're not part of this discussion. We can't take any sides because the very nature of our job is to stand for truth. So if you don't do that, then you're not a journalist. So I think this is a time, an epoch, where we have to grab the opportunity to make our convictions known to the world and not just hide under this blanket or this illusion of neutrality because at the end of the day we're really not neutral. We're humans. There's a lot at stake in what's happening and we can't just sit back and watch things go under.
Thank you so much, Pia. Good luck, and I look forward to seeing you later. Okay, guys, the Egyptian theater is starting to get packed little by little. We're here in the um, the rear part of the theater where it's almost full really. It's the reserved part of the theater, and in front people are slowly starting to make their way. And people are chattering, they're talking about, they're excited about this film. Actually, a lot of articles talked about how this is one of the most anticipated films on Sundance. Now, let's talk to one of the bosses of Rappler. We have here our managing editor, Miss Glenda Gloria, who is also thoroughly documented when it comes to handling a crisis in the presidency of President Rodrigo Duterte. Miss Glenda, is it alright to interview you? Okay, we have her.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello, hi everyone. It's great to be here. We're very happy and also humbled that our film on Rappler has been shown.
Miss Glenda, why do you think this film is so important to be shown?
I think it is important because it is important for the rest of the world to know the story of Filipino journalists and how they have pushed back and how they're fighting for freedom every day. This film is not just about Rappler. It's not just about Filipino journalists, but it is about Philippine democracy at this important time.
Ms. Glenda, there are a lot of films about the journalism industry throughout the years. What do you think makes this movie about Rappler, about us, stand out?
I think it stands out because first it's a movie about pushing back, but also thriving in the midst of crisis. It's a movie about turning crisis into opportunity.
Thank you so much, Miss Glenda. See you later. Okay. So let me just tour you guys around here inside the Egyptian theater. So here is the area where the reserved seats are for the film crew and the cast. Actually, we're also part of the movie, but we're also part of. We're also excited to see it finally because I was also followed by Ramon Diaz when it comes to the Philippine National Police conducting its anti-illegal drugs operations. And it's surreal to see how many people are coming. Actually, Ramona Diaz told us that the movie has been and the tickets have been sold out. And many people have been asking how they can get more tickets, but they couldn't simply accommodate them. So this is how it looks like here now in the Egyptian Theater here in Park City in Utah for the premiere of A Thousand Cuts, a film about Rappler under President Rodrigo Duterte's rule in the Philippines. We spoken earlier to members of Rappler's staff saying that this film is very important because this film tells the backstory about Rappler journalists actually pushing back against an administration that has been fully on the edge to actually push journalists aside, especially journalists who have been critically covering the administration. Let me just show you guys the backside to give you guys a full view of how many people there are here. People are saying hi. So this is the scene here at inside the Egyptian theater. As all of you can see, there are a lot of people here inside the Egyptian theater already. And getting inside the selection of the Sundance Film Festival is actually very prestigious within the circles of the film industry because they say that it's harder to get into the selection of the Sundance Film Festival than it is to enter Harvard. So there were thousands or hundreds of films that applied for the selection, but only a dozen got selected for a premiere here in Park City.
Rambo?
Oh no, I'm just
What's
going
up,
live.
dude?
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Okay. So again, we have our Rapplers here. and we're seeing a considerable number of Filipino Americans who are also here to show their support for A Thousand Cuts. And now approaching the star of this film, our CEO and executive editor, Maria Oresa. Let's try to get an interview with her.
Live right now.
I'm just live right now.
Mr. Social Media, how are you?
Rambo, you have to meet Easton Jordan, my boss.
How are
Excellent.
you? We're live on
This man does
Facebook.
everything. He's
I
now
hired Maria at CNN.
like.
So this is
35
Maria
years
Oresa.
ago. A long time ago.
Okay.
But Easton Jordan now. You work with Malala. Malala
Yes.
Yousafzai,
Yes.
president of CNN International for forever, and then
Now
now
launch now this.
now this. Oh yes, he launched now this. Okay. Anyway, I'll get out of your way. Go.
Okay. Okay, we have Sir. I got your full name, sir.
Jason Jordan.
Sir Jordan. Okay. Why do you think this film is very important?
Well, it's a critical film at a critical time, and the world needs to understand what Filipinos face as far as challenges from the government, challenges in the social media space, and we need answers, so we can all live together in harmony.
There are already a lot of journalism films that have been released throughout the years. Why do you think this film is still important?
Well, I think this is a unique film, and it showcases a critical battle in a country that needs help and support from the world. Right? It's a young democracy that faces enormous challenges, and the world needs to stand with Rappler and with Maria.
Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome.
Watching the film.
Thank you.
Okay.
Take care.
So let's continue going around to see who are also part of the audience, notable people in the audience watching A Thousand Cuts. Okay. So lots of familiar faces here because the film has been in the works for years. And lots of people greeting us as we make our way through the venue here in the Egyptian Theater. Now we have Miss Maria Rest finally with us for our Facebook Live. No,
You're
okay.
not tired of me, Rambo?
No, no. Okay, so here is the so-called star of the show.
No,
How
no,
would
no,
you
no.
describe yourself in the film, Maria?
The person no one in Rappler listens to.
She's just joking, but really, you are the heart of the show and you are the heart of the company. This has been an emotional journey for you, and I know this because I'm also part of our group discussions. But finally, it's here. We're finally here. How are you feeling right now?
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, but I do want to hear the music by Ruby Ibarra. Sam Lipman did the scoring for it. Whew, I'm just taking a deep breath. And this is Rappler, right? Look at Rambo. That's Rappler. Before he even was an employee, he got arrested. Should I tell you more about Rambo?
No, I'm asking about you, Miss Maria. And in the making of this film, it really follows you around the world as you make your way in promoting Rappler and press freedom.
Yeah.
And in this film, why do you think that people should watch this? Because this is an independent film. And in the Philippines, we have a culture of actually just appreciating the usual hits. But in the Philippines, why do you think Filipinos should watch this film?
Because I think we need to see our experiences in a global context. And one of the things that this time period has shown me is that the problems we face as a society are in many ways a reaction to decisions that are made in other parts of the world. So this is a really crucial moment, not just for the Philippines, but for the United States, for other democracies around the world. So, please watch and help us preserve our Constitution. Press freedom is only the first of all of the freedoms that we have under the Constitution. So I hope, what will you take out of it? That this time matters, that what you do matters, and that you got to stand up for what you believe in, because silence is complicity.
Can you explain to our watchers right now why it is called A Thousand Cuts?
This is democracy's death by 1,000 cuts. That's what we're really seeing, the kind of online attacks that tear down what you think about the world, tear you down, the targeting of lies to those who are most vulnerable to it. So lies laced with anger and hate spread fastest on social media. And then that has helped elect populist authoritarian style leaders all around the world. And guess what? The, the first of the dominoes to fall was the Philippines. Not to say that President Duterte was democratically elected, but a month after he was elected, then we had Brexit, then we had all the other dominoes leading to President Trump. Who knows where the world is going to go? But what I do know is that human nature is basically good. I believe that. And the rules of a democratic state help protect that.
So Maria, there are a lot of journalism films that have been released throughout the years. What do you think makes this movie about us unique?
This is a foolish company. We have no other business interests. Our interest is journalism and helping redefine what journalists do in the age of social media, helping redefine what civil society is going to do when it's difficult to figure out what the facts are. I think we'll look back many, many years from now, we're going to say, that moment was really critical. And I hope we've done the right thing.
Thank you so much, Ms. Maria. You
Thank
should enjoy
you.
watching this film.
You
I might
too,
cry
Rambo.
too. Okay.
Rambo is in this, by the way, so you'll
Yeah.
watch him on a night trip.
I suppose. Okay, so that went through the lines here because it's pretty cramped already. A lot of people have begun sitting down and they're already settling in because it's about to begin. The premiere of A Thousand Cuts. The film is chronicling the journey of Rappler under the rule of President Rodrigo Duterte. Now, I just want to take you guys up front before I sign out to show you guys how many people are actually here supporting this film. So you see a full house of people supporting A Thousand Cuts, a film on Rappler. And that is the latest here in Park City, Utah, in the United States. We will be here in Park City for the next couple of days. Stay tuned for more updates. Just follow us on Rappler and see you guys. Thank you for watching.